Hello, welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Attila Pink, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that could these guys be behind of the Terra Luna crash and behind the recent crashes, just like the 10th of October. So they are Jane Street, and they accused now by Terraform Labs that they were behind the big Terra Luna crash, and now some other theories came out. Let's talk about the details. Then also let's talk about how trading firms can push Bitcoin price lower using actually paper Bitcoin, so not real Bitcoin. I'm also going to talk about the Bitcoin spot ETFs inflows and outflows. We have a record now in outflows. On the other hand, yesterday we had a nice inflow again. Then let's talk about the nations which holding now Bitcoin and how these numbers of these nations are increasing the chances for rate cuts, the jobless claims, and so on and so forth. So a lot of things in today's video. And don't forget that every single day I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So every single day from Monday to Sunday, you're receiving short videos, the essence of the news in 60 seconds. But every single week, I'm making a summary video where the market is right now, like this one. And if you would like to keep yourself up to date, very simple. Just subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And now let's start. Okay, and for first, let's have a look at the prices, where we can see actually, let me share the screen, that Bitcoin is actually up 0.5% the last 24 hours, Ethereum up 2%. So Ethereum is at 2050, while Bitcoin is at 67,566 US dollar. The winner today is Pippin with almost 20% gain, Stable with 10%, and Decred with 9%. Among the losers, we have Kite down 9%, Cosmos down 9%, and we have Pepe down 5%. So not huge moves on the market. When we're looking at the Bitcoin candlestick chart, here on the weekly, we can see that we had continuously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in the row when we're going down, and this week is right now also in red. However, now it's in just green, so we are at the edge right now. But it's very important that what happened to the 1 sec. Oh, there are my lines. I were missing them. Okay. I was listening there. Okay. So here we are. So 69,000-ish would be a very important level to break and stay above it, at least on the weekly. So let's see what's going to happen towards the end of the week. But so far, this pump, which happened yesterday, it looks a bit weak. Look at yesterday's candle, which went from all the way to 64,000 up to 70,000. And then we closed the day under 69,000, and today we also not getting now stronger. So basically on the daily it also shows weakness, but there were hopes around that maybe now this was the bottom and we go up, but we're not there yet. And when we're looking at Bitcoin on the monthly, we can see that February has basically 2 days left, right? The February is just 28 days long, and today is the 26th, and we are still minus 13%. So it can easily happen that this month is going to close in red, and then we have 5 consecutive months in red. And the last time we had this, it was back in 2018 when it started from August and finished in 2019 in January, when there were 6 months in a row in minus for Bitcoin. So let's see, because many times, you know, we have a nice price increase around spring in midterm years, but so that could come up. But overall, I do think that the market is still very weak. And yeah, when we're looking at the fear and greed index, by the way, then it's at 16, so extreme fear continues. And now go back to this one. By the way, on the other hand, the how to buy Bitcoin research on Google increased where we haven't seen it since the last bull market back in 2021. So there is an increase for that. Maybe people looking how to get their hands on some Bitcoin, as Bitcoin getting cheaper and cheaper. And now let's talk about the first thing, and this is the Jane Street situation. So let me share the screen again. So basically what happened, so first of all, we have, Terraform sues Jane Street. Basically, the bankruptcy administrator for Terraform Labs has taken legal action against Jane Street, accusing the trading firm of the 2022 Terra Luna, collapse. Because they saying they had insider information, they have done insider trading right before the big crash. They could take an advantage on it, and this caused the collapse of Terra USD and also Terra Luna. So here you can see that as well. But now the story continues with this mysterious number 10. And after this theory appeared, then now here's the question. Could they be the guys behind the 10th of October crash, which was just in last year? So look, Jane Street made $10 billion in trading revenue in a single quarter, more than a major Wall Street bank. Banned from India's market after regulators accused them of index manipulation and seized $570 million. Now being sued over insider trading tied to a $40 billion Terra Luna collapse, which began, back in May on the 10th. That's very important. Back in 2022, and became the second largest buyer of BlackRock's Bybit Bitcoin ETF. By the way, so. Now with this number 10 theory. So we had the 10th of May, Terra Luna collapse. The 10 a.m. daily dumps during US market hours, which you can see here. Actually, this is a better picture from this. And we had also the 10th of October last year, crash when $19 billion were liquidated in 24 hours. And by the way, after these news came out, Bitcoin went up 10% about. So what is this, mysterious number 10, and could they be really, the reason behind the last year's record crash when it comes to liquidity on the crypto market? So now this is in the air, and now people hope that, okay, this will all the way push back the Bitcoin price, but this is just simply, it's just too weak. It's just not happening right now. But on the other hand, we'll be curious what will be the end of the story. So now, they have this lawsuit, and let's see how this will end. But there were a lot of talks about it on the market, and they said, okay, this marked the bottom, and so on and so forth. However, even then we have, short-term increase. In long-term, I do feel that we are in the bear phase for more than 4 months, and during this bearish period, there are some dead bounces which can happen. But first of all, we have to see a clear trend change, and then we can count on prices going up. Until that, it's just too weak. What we can see right now in the market. Right. Yeah, that was this one. And okay, now this is the next topic I would like to talk about, and how trading firms can cause, Bitcoin price, push Bitcoin price down and cause this effect using actually paper Bitcoin. So here's a nice summary, and let's talk through the whole thing. So first of all, differences. So spot Bitcoin, the actual buying real Bitcoin on exchanges. Paper Bitcoin, we're talking about derivatives that track the price but do not require on real Bitcoin. So that's very, very important. So examples for paper Bitcoin: futures contracts, perpetual swaps, ETF shares, synthetic short positions. So now how it works, here it is explained. Let me zoom in. Okay, so the trading firms open a large position in futures or preps, and they betting on the price going down without owning any real Bitcoin. So that's crucial. They can also short Bitcoin ETFs. So shorting the ETF does not mean selling actual Bitcoin. It means selling shares that track Bitcoin price. And during ETF creation and redemption, big institutions called authorized participants can hedge their exposure using futures instead of buying spot Bitcoin. And here's the key point: instead of going into the market and buying real Bitcoin, they offset risk with more paper contracts. So they sell aggressively during low liquidity periods. It's very crucial, low liquidity, because then they can move the price. The initial drop triggers the stop losses and leverage liquidations. Liquidations are there, and liquidations force automatic selling for retail traders. That selling pushes prices down even further. So what actually happened, the large part of downward pressure can come from derivatives and synthetics exposure, not massive spot Bitcoin selling. But relatively little real Bitcoin may have changed actually hence. So this is now a new danger for Bitcoin price, because as soon as now we have all these derivatives, which are not real Bitcoin, but still can have an impact on the Bitcoin price, now they can even manipulate it better. I don't know what you think about it. You can let me know in the comment section. Right, okay, and now let's move on about the Bitcoin spot ETF inflows, outflows, because there we have a new record. So when we're looking at the last couple of weeks, we can see that now 6 weeks straight, we can see outflows from Bitcoin spot ETFs. And this is the longest streak in weeks since we have Bitcoin spot ETFs. On the other hand, now we have just seen a nice inflow yesterday on Wednesday, talking about 506 million US dollar. You can see it even better. So this was yesterday here. Before yesterday, 257 million. But before that, outflows. There are many outflows. So now it started to be a bit stronger. Let's see how this week's balance going to finish. But now 6 weeks we have actually outflows. All right. And now this is another topic I would like to talk about, that more and more nations collecting Bitcoin, accumulating. Right, so when we look all the way back to 2016, we had 2, and then it started to basically increase. And just in last year, 2025, there are 5 new countries alone which are joined the list. We're talking about Brazil, the Czech Republic, Luxembourg, Saudi Arabia, and Taiwan. So now the question is, A, who could be the next one? Because there is no question that will be a next one. Probably there will sooner or later, as these numbers are continuously increasing and we have more and more nations accumulating Bitcoin, which also makes Bitcoin stronger when other nations seeing that, okay, these guys accumulating, I don't want to be left out. And there's a scarcity of Bitcoin because almost 20 million Bitcoin is already out. 21 million will be the maximum number, but actually less and less Bitcoin is getting into the system because of the halvings, and the next halving it's going to be actually in 2028. So there's this scarcity, and not just nations, there are different companies, hedge funds, ETF issuers, they accumulating Bitcoin, and the weekends when the pressure is on, just like now, when the price is going down, they're selling Bitcoin. And sooner or later, there will be this major shift, which is right now ongoing. And then there will be those guys who holding Bitcoin and a lot of people who are left out, or for whom Bitcoin will be already too expensive. Of course, you can buy Satoshis. I'm not meaning that, but I just want to point out that those who would like to accumulate at least a whole Bitcoin or 0.1 Bitcoin, whatever your goal is, it's getting more and more difficult. Right, okay, and finally, let's talk about a couple of things. The chances for the next rate cut at the FOMC meeting, very, very slim, almost 98%. There's no chance for a rate cut. Same goes right now for April, and also for June, the chance for no rate cut, it's higher than for a 25 basis point rate cut. And The new data for jobless claims just came out today, and actually the actual one right now is 212,000, and the forecast said to the 17,000. So basically, it's lower than the forecast said, but higher than the previous one was. Yeah. Basically, pretty much that's it. By the way, I have here a Bybit link for you if you would like to use your stablecoin, put it in use. So you have a couple of options. You have now USDC in not just USDC, but the EURC as well. So you don't have to swap your euros into dollars. And with that, you can actually on Bybit, earn between 40 and 20% APR. You have other chances as well here when it comes to Bybit card, when you spending money on it with it. So first of all, here you can, I show you when I went here and earn now button, then you have see these options, USC, USDC, EURC, and here duration, and basically here you can make money in these kind of difficult times when it's very, very difficult to get something out of your crypto. If you're not short in the market, then maybe this could be something if you think about it. So the link under the video, if you use that link, you get other nice bonuses as well. Okay, guys, that's it for today. And don't forget, every single day you're getting fresh cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. Short videos where you get the news in less than 60 seconds, so essence of the news. So it keeps you up to date. Also, weekly you have these longer videos when I do talk about the market in more depth and what's happening, so you can actually get this more depth information. But it's very, very important. I would like to save you time. That's why I'm producing the short videos and just once a week talking about the details. Nothing big is right now happening. We are in the downtrend. The trend hasn't changed so far, but sooner or later probably it will. So guys, that's it for today, and see you in the next video. Subscribe, hit the like button. Hi, bye.